Mostly they're asylum seekers who've come to this country, made an application and it's been refused. And then when they lose the case, they then lose all access to National Asylum Seekers Support Services. So they're then reliant on friends and family and communities while they go through the appeal process. They're then often homeless for a very long time, and after 6 months or a year they usually run out of friends or family to stay with, and they end up sleeping rough, sleeping in churches, sleeping in mosques, or occasionally ending up in hostels. But since they're not eligible for any kind of public support, they're effectively people that are driven away from society. The only access they have to public services are if they have a severe accident or if they require urgent health care. Then they end up at the casualty unit in the hospital and often end up mentally ill as a result of their experience. What we're doing to people is, quite frankly, brutal.
She explained to me she has a problem of the house. She herself and 4 children, they live in 1 bedroom. And the difficulty, the bedroom, kitchen, and the toilet. The children, they have difficulty to live there because they don't have space to eat, and also they don't have any sitting room. The condition of the house also is very bad, she said, because it's the heater is all time is hot, and the central heating, and she don't know where to off and on. Because she is new to this country, she is asylum seeker, refugee from Somalia, and that is she said also the children, they have some effect for the healthy, because every week I take one of them to the GP to get some medicine, especially the GP, he give us the cough medicine like antibiotic, but I don't know how that antibiotic also affected my children's health, and I have that difficulties.
There's no provision for people who don't have a borough connection, and only people who work in housing are aware of that. So a lot of people will come to London or another major city, and it's at that point they'll find out that actually it's very difficult to find accommodation. They might find themselves sleeping rough.
When I come in this country, I'm facing very problem to get a place to live, myself and my family. So because we have beginning problem for the status from home office, so because everything is connected to that situation. So we start to move to North Kilburn, you know, we go to Victoria, so we move to East London, to Stratford area, we go to Manor House, and finally we are living in Hackney. So you know, it's a long process. Because everything was connected to the paper, and till now we are still bidding. You know, just some special bidding. You know, you have computer, you have your mobile. You need to put something there every week. So and take the in the system there, in the housing system, they check the possibility to you to get a council flat. So you know, it's a big issue. And just briefly, that's my situation. You know.
My experience living in Afghanistan, but when I was a child, I had good experience. Afterwards, I had very bad experience. They forced me to leave my country, and basically, I don't want to go back to that far in Afghanistan because I'm trying to forget it. I don't have any good memory over there. Lost my mother. Basically, we split with my family. We don't know about my dad, about my brothers in Italy. I don't know about my sister, where she is, but I'm here. My journey from Afghanistan to here takes about 2 months. We've been to lorry, container. We sleep in jungle, without food, without any water. A bit water, a bit food, just to be alive. You're not gonna die. And then basically the worst time of my life, basically.
I'm originally from Uganda, and I've been working and doing everything, and I became homeless and I approached the homeless unit. for housing assistance, and because I was working, I was made to pay about £350 a week in rent. Even though I had a priority need, after almost 18 months, they decided my case and they found me to be intentionally homeless. And they told me that they would make that decision within 30 days. And every time I send them email, phone them, nobody ever got back to me. And when I get through to somebody, they'll tell me, okay, Ms. Leica, your case is very complex. We are still collating information from other places that you've lived.
I think you could stop homelessness by providing people with jobs so that they would not need to rely on the state for help, so that they could, pay for their own way.
I think it ill behoves us to talk about human rights and inclusion in our society, and indeed in other societies around the world, when we knowingly make people homeless, make them sleep on the streets, and make them live in terrible poverty. And we also know from the statistics that probably the majority will end up either getting asylum, indefinite leave to remain, humanitarian protection, or will simply go through 14 years of misery and end up being authorised to remain in this country. I support the Strangers into Citizens campaign. We can't have hundreds of thousands of people in the country living as marginal citizens while the rest of us have the right to vote and access to public services and community services and the justice system.